everyone, welcome to Nighty Farn's Stories. Today I'll be reading an original piece. If you would like to see the Word document that accompanies this piece, the links for it are below in our Facebook page. Enjoy. It would seem that the newer life choices are working. I feel less stressed with myself, and though I still use my magic, today has become more like a role of an apothecary than anything else. A far-flung life than the one I had lived just a few years ago. My own home, enough money to easily live out my life in relative comfort, and my own patch of land in which to grow as much of my own produce as I possibly could. All seemed perfect. On a beautiful Saturday afternoon I sat by my garden. The subtle sound of the swallows flying overhead had calmed me more than I thought possible. As I fell asleep, young Martin called to me, waking me up. "Good afternoon, Miss Anna. My mum has asked me to come pick up her medicine. She has run out again. Oh, also, there was a lot of men looking for you. They looked a bit scary, and Mum told me to hide. Did they find you?" he inquired very attentively. "Martin, your mother's medicine is sat on the table in a satchel, and she already knows how much to take. Go and bring it to her now, and please don't look back, no matter what happens." This I told the boy, yet I had not looked at him as I did. They had come. I had not doubted that they would, but each day I had hoped more and more that they wouldn't be able to find me here. They stood upon a hill. They seemed to be watching and waiting for me to come to them, but this was not going to happen. If they wanted a battle, they would have one, though I knew that they would not want one. My own story has always preceded me. Not that it needed to anymore. Now I turned my hair an auburn hue as opposed to the blonde it had been, and through my magic I had grown 5 inches taller, and stood now at 5'8". I had hoped this, along with my altered voice, would allow me some solitude, but it would seem not. As I stood waiting in my garden, the scent of lavender and sage wafting through the air around me, he came. The man holding nothing but a scroll entered my garden, stopping about 10 feet from where I stood. He carried no weapon on his person. Not that it mattered, of course, as while I rested, they had archers surrounding me, but whether they thought it helpful or not, I could not say. "Anastasia, you are to stand trial for your crimes, those of murder, treachery, assassination, and heresy, all of which you undertook under the guise of the Witch of Wolberg. Do you," he began. "Sorceress," I interrupted. "I am not a witch. I am a sorceress." "Call yourself whatever you will. We are here to bring you into face justice," he sternly answered, not even trying to hide how annoyed he was for being interrupted. "Let me ask a question, if I may," I said. "How strongly do you believe that the archers and cavalry here can stop me? Knowing what you do about me, and like every other story that's told, which do you think are really more farcical?" Smirking at him, I slowly spun my ring finger, snapping all the bowstrings of the archers aiming towards me. "How dare you? I have been sent here by King Francis and Queen Isabella. You absolutely will surrender yourself to their righteous will." He bellowed this, his original demeanour giving way to his growing anger. "Oh, it seems I have not been clear on my standpoint on this. I would like to clarify." As I said this, I raised my arms. As I did, he raised with them. I then sent him flying out of my garden, lying on his side. I flung him harder than I meant to, though, as upon landing he continued to spin and roll off the ground. Getting up from the ground and dusting himself off, he ran back towards the cavalry and got on the only empty horse sitting on the hill. Looking in his eyes, I could tell it was not over. It was then I saw him draw and loose an arrow from his bow. I let it fly as long as I could before stopping at an inch from my forehead. Had I continued on its trajectory, it would have definitely gone through my left eye. "You seem to like the idea of wood floating through the air. Would you like to see some more?" This I yelled at him, having lost my temper a tad. Taking 2 branches off the tree, one to the left of him, the other to the right. Making a cross with my arms, he entered them, through the temples on their respective sides. They crossed my arms, and mad now embedded in his face, the last thing he would ever know. The cavalry and archers had fled at seeing this. It was only the body of the insufferable man that remained, and now I would have to hide his corpse, the face of the other inevitabilities. They had found their witch. They would return. My peaceful days were gone. That is all from me today. If you enjoyed, like, subscribe, and check out our Facebook in the link in the description below, and we'll see you next time. Thank you. Hello everyone, welcome to Nighty Farn's Stories. Today I'll be reading an original piece. If you would like to see the Word document that accompanies this piece, the links for it are below in our Facebook page. Enjoy. It would seem that the newer life